All right, so today we are diving into NFTs. And look, we're going to get past all the hype, all the noise about cartoon apes and overpriced pictures. We're going to talk about what this technology actually is and why it could completely change what it means to own, well, anything online. So yeah, let's get right into it.
So let's start here. $69 million. Back in 2021, that's what someone paid for a single digital file at a Christie's auction. One JPEG. And pretty much overnight, the entire world was asking a very, very simple question.
And there it is, the right-click save argument. You've probably heard it, you've probably even said it, and honestly, it's the most important thing to talk about. Because if you can understand why that statement doesn't quite hit the mark, then you can understand the whole idea behind NFTs. Okay, so that crazy sale was for a digital collage made by an artist who goes by Beeple, and it basically kicked off this massive, kind of confusing bubble. All of a sudden, you had people paying millions of dollars for, pictures of pixelated rocks. It was wild. And then, just as fast as it blew up, the whole market crashed. A lot of those JPEGs became pretty much worthless. But here's the thing, and this is the important part. The bubble popped for sure, but the technology behind it, that didn't go anywhere. And that's what we really need to look at. So let's get right back to that right-click save idea. Because, and this might sound weird, far from being a reason to just dismiss NFTs, it's actually the secret to understanding them. Let's break down exactly why. I mean, of course not, right? You can have a perfect high-res photo, you can print it out, hang it on your wall, it's a perfect copy, but you don't own the original. You can't turn around and sell your copy for hundreds of millions of dollars because it's missing that one critical thing, authenticity. And that brings us to this key word, provenance. The real Mona Lisa is valuable because we can trace its entire history, its ownership, all the way back to Leonardo da Vinci himself. In the digital world where everything is a perfect copy, the blockchain is what creates that same unbreakable public history. It's the digital provenance.
You know, for the last 30 years, the internet has basically been one giant copy machine. When you email a photo to a friend, you aren't sending the original, you're sending a perfect copy. And that's amazing for sharing stuff, but it made true digital ownership pretty much impossible. Well, until now.
So this gets us to the name itself. Non-Fungible Token. Fungible is just a fancy word for interchangeable. My dollar bill is worth the same as your dollar bill. We can swap them, it doesn't matter. But non-fungible things are unique. The Mona Lisa is non-fungible. Your house is non-fungible. They're one of a kind. So an NFT is just a token that proves you own a unique digital thing. Now this is maybe the most important thing to get your head around. The NFT is not the image. It's the receipt. It's like a digital certificate of authenticity that lives on the blockchain, where everyone can see it and no one can fake it. It's got a unique ID, it verifies who the owner is, and it points to where the actual file is stored. So yeah, anyone can copy the file, but only one person can own the official receipt. Okay, so digital art was the first big, loud, messy experiment. But thinking NFTs are just about art is like seeing the internet in the early 90s and thinking it's just for sending email. The real potential here goes so much further. Let's look at where this is all actually heading. Okay, think about an item you buy in a game, like a skin in Fortnite. Do you actually own it? Not really. You're basically renting it from the game company. If they shut down the game, it's gone. With NFTs, that digital sword or cool outfit becomes an asset you truly own. You could sell it, trade it, maybe even use it in other games someday. Or what about event tickets? An NFT can be your ticket. It's totally secure, it's programmable, and this could basically get rid of ticket fraud and scalping overnight. It could also let artists create a much fairer secondary market where they actually get a cut if a ticket is resold. And this is where it gets really, really interesting for creators. An artist can program an NFT so that every single time it gets resold to anyone, anywhere, forever, they automatically get a piece of that sale. This isn't a small tweak. This could completely rewrite the rules for how artists and musicians make a living online. So when you start to zoom out, you see what this is really all about. It was never really about the JPEGs. It's about creating a new kind of property right for a world that's becoming more and more digital every single day. This right here, this slide, is the heart of it. For the last 20 years, we've basically been digital renters. We don't own our music on Spotify. We don't own our items in games. We don't even own our audience on Instagram. We're just using these platforms. NFTs represent this huge shift away from that, a move from being a user to being an owner. So the next time you hear some crazy headline about NFTs, just remember what's going on underneath. It's about building a foundational technology, a global standard for proving that you own something unique online. It's really that simple and that big.
And that kind of leads us to this final thought. Forget about digital art for just a second. What if the deed to your car or even your house was an NFT? It would be instantly verifiable, easily transferable, and radically transparent. That's the scale of this idea we're talking about. It's not just about owning JPEGs, it's about actually owning what's yours.